¡Viva México!
And still, the undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Alexa Grasso.
Sean O'Malley is the UFC Bantamweight champion. The Sterling reign ends tonight in Boston.
Undisputed UFC Bantamweight champion of the world, Sean O'Malley.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier. I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're out of here.
How you doing, Sean?
Oh, I'm doing good. I cannot complain. How are you?
Good, man. We were just talking to Alexa Grasso, and I know that for all of you guys, the Sphere is like a new experience. Have you been over there and taken a look at what it's like? Have they let you guys see it?
I've never been in the Sphere. It's going to be, I don't even think we're going to be able to go in there until the actual fight. So it will be interesting.
Yeah, same disadvantage. We were telling her too, like for everybody's kind of dealing with this same thing. It's a first time experience for all of you guys. And how are you feeling going into this? I mean, you know that Merab, what his game plan is probably going to be. You had a really great fight against Chito Vera, went the distance. I think that was your first 5-rounder, so you know you can do it. What do you think he's going to try to do?
Merab is going to, it's no secret, like you said. He's going to come in there, try to, change levels, throw a 3-2, shoot a single leg, pushing up against the fence. It's no secret.
And was Aljamain, you had a very competitive first round with him. He was not able to take you down, got you up against the cage, but he didn't do a whole lot of damage at all. Was Aljamain kind of what you expected, or was he beginning to implement what he wanted to do before you threw that beautiful right?
With Aljo, it was a matter of not letting him get a hold of me that first round. He did at the last few seconds, and that was a huge win for me. And then in the second round, I made the mistake. I threw a kick, ended up on my butt, and he got in on a shot, and he was exactly where he wanted me to be. He got me where he wanted me to be twice, and didn't get to take me down. So I got a lot of confidence from that.
Yeah. And we had Uriah Faber on the other day, and John and I spoke of this before. Very, very complimentary about your grappling and how he feels that people can't overlook it just because you don't have to do it that often and your striking is so fucking spectacular. But apparently you train with some really, really high-level grapplers and are very comfortable on the floor.
Yeah, my coach, Tanquinho Augusto Mendez, one of the greatest grapplers of all time. No gi, just has a really good mind for jiu-jitsu. And we have some absolute studs coming up that are going to be in the UFC very soon. And we have a really, really good gym, train with killers.
Sean, I'm curious because you said it, right? There's no surprises. You know what Merab does. Everybody points to his grappling and points to his cardio, the pace, right? So how much of your training was tailored towards that? Like how much did you have to adjust? Because what you've been doing has worked pretty damn good so far. So was there any reason to make adjustment, or did you have to tailor to those tools that you know he has?
The only thing we do different each camp is try to get sparring partners to emulate a little bit. It's not like you have to try. Like, you still want good rounds, so it's like all we're doing is we found short orthodox guys that could that could grapple a lot, wrestle, and just like you said, what we've been doing is working, so we really didn't change much. I had a really, really good fight camp, and I'm excited to go out there and perform in front of the world.
You know, he was calling your name for a long time, right? Along the way, you were a superstar well before he started getting to this level where he could have this fight. But did you feel like this matchup was inevitable when he was calling you out all those times, saying, I got, give me Sean? Did you feel like you were going to have to cross paths at some point?
I figured if he kept winning, he was just so boring, and there was nothing really to the fight itself. So it wasn't like an appealing. But now that he's done it so many times, he's been boring for long enough that it's interesting. And it's like, who can beat this guy? I'm the guy to beat him. Talk about his cardio, and his cardio didn't go all day. when you're knocked unconscious, it doesn't matter how good a shape you're in.
Yeah, I mean, and we again, your movement is so like you must be a very frustrating guy. It's really, really. I can't think of anybody who moves better than you do. Your feints, and Aljamain knew what you were going to do, and he bit on almost every feint. So I guess you're getting reads as you're doing that. But you seem like a very frustrating guy to have to deal with because even though guys know you're going to try to stay at length, you're going to strike, you're going to move, it just seems like nobody is able to get Chito Vera. I mean, again, that must have made you feel good to get that fight back and to really prove that was an extremely dominating win.
That felt really, really good to get back. That was 3.5 years in the making, and it was I always knew I was better. I always knew that I was more skilled and could beat him in a fight. So to be able to defend my belt for the first time against Chito felt good, felt really good. But yeah, I think Merab's in for a rude awakening. I think what Aljo was able to tell Merab is like, okay, he's really good. He's better than we thought. Merab's going to have the same game plan as Aljo, but we'll see if he can implement it better. I don't think so.
And you talked about with Aljo, like these little things were little victories, like just not like, you know what I mean? Like a win. Did going the distance, and obviously, you have great cardio, you can go the distance, but did going the distance with Chito, who's known to get stronger as the fight goes on and looking as good as you did that do anything for you? Like, again, you can do it, but now you've done it. Was that like anything that you're like, yeah, now I've done it and I feel even more confident that I can again?
Massive confidence booster. Going 5-5s, and it was a huge confidence booster. The Aljo fight, massive confidence booster. Can take takedowns from the best in the world, put anyone's lights out. I've known that. Next fight, go 5 rounds with the guy who's got really good cardio. Coming off these last 2 fights, my confidence is sky high.
Sean, I know that you're not a fan of Merab's fighting style, but how do you rate his social media game? The build-up has been pretty good to this. You guys have had some fun. I mean, as a bit of a sketch comic, do you rate his skills there?
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of his style. I think the world isn't much of a fan of that style specifically. I give respect where to do what he does is incredible. Like it's he's very skilled in what he does. Social media wise, there's a couple times he's made me giggle. Sometimes I feel like he's just reposting stuff that people sent him and he's getting credit for being funny, which isn't the case. But there's a couple times. Anytime he dances, I get a good giggle.
Oh, man. Hey, so listen, I know at first with this, you were a little frustrated, right, that the Sphere was getting top billing. But, man, as we get close, this event looks like it's going to be absolutely insane, and you're in the main event of it, right? So now are you kind of embracing this stage, and how do you feel about this, spotlight that you've been given and this opportunity?
Yeah, 100% embracing it and very honored the UFC, chose me to main event it. I know Connor wanted on it. I know Ilya and Max were kind of pushing for it. For them to choose me versus Merab meant a lot. So, and just hearing Dana talk about everything that's went into the Sphere it's inspiring. And for him to put on a show, be the first one to do it. Yeah, super honored and pumped they chose me.
And you're a guy who, before you became champion, people loved you and you were very, very sought after and interviewed. Did that help at all in this trend? Because a lot of times someone becomes a champion and it's a whole new ballgame of press and of all this pressure and of all this scrutiny. But you were kind of dealing with that before. Did that kind of, you think, help this transition? Where it's amazing that you're the champion, but you were already pretty much a superstar in the UFC before that happened.
Yeah, I think 100% it's been an advantage because even back to the Eddie Wineland fight when I first colored my hair, it was like that was the talk of the card. Was Sugar's hair is crazy. I was having to do extra media for that alone. So since that fight 5 or 8 fights ago or whatever it was, I've had to do championship level media for a really long. Before I was even in the top 15, I've been doing championship level media since then.
Well, Sean, obviously, congratulations on the success. You're a great champion. You're great for the UFC, and I can't wait for this fight. Merab is such an interesting style, and you're so good at dealing with anybody's style. You have one punch knockout power and speed, and you know what you do. I'm not telling you what you do, but I can't wait for this fight, and everybody is looking forward to this. So congrats on getting this fight and for what you've earned.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. We'll hopefully talk to you again, man. Come on more often. We'd love to have you on more.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Jim. See you guys.
Right.
See you, John.
Take care, Sean.